Good? All right. Just let me know when. Oh, I'm live now? Oh, I'm on, man. You gotta let a brother know. Well, bet. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jay Myers. Welcome to the Organized Chaos Podcast. Um, Episode number 2. As you can see, it's just me tonight. I don't have a guest, so y'all got to deal with just listen to me write my mouth on a couple of, statistics and other things. Give me a sec. Because somebody ain't told me I was live. My phone was still on, so I don't want all the texts and the sounds and everything to start coming through and interrupt everything. And as you can see, yo, this is an Iron Man cup. This cup's dope. Anyway, let me get back on this. So, like we were saying last time I was on here, the Organized Chaos podcast is basically just going to be, it's going to be literally a whole bunch of different things. Whatever is going to be popping in my head is what we're going to be talking about. It's a lot of times I'm probably going to just do whatever is going on in my life at times. A lot of times it'll be, music based. It'll be just life based, very, culturally, man, I'm off today. You know what? Let's not even get into all that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I had one of them days today, y'all. I have literally had one of those days today. So driving this morning, going to work, my headlights out. Um, Realized that going through some other things personally in life, work been crazy busy. So it's just one of those things where, I started thinking about what was going on in my life. And because this here and music and, just me basically running my mouth whenever I can and having a platform like this is my therapy. It's how I get through. Everybody knows you at work. You got that person you just talk to, you kick it with. And, whatever the subject is, it just it helps you to kind of make sense of what's going on in your life. And confession is good for the soul. One of the other things that's going on right now is that I have recently, in the last 2 months, started going to therapy. And it got me thinking in these therapy sessions that one of the things that we as a community, as the Black community, we don't value mental health as much as we should. One of the things that I personally learned is I started therapy for a whole completely different reason and got in there and learned a lot of things about myself and who I am, why I react to certain things, why I feel certain ways about myself. And I know they always make jokes and things about it, like, oh, childhood trauma leads into things. And even one of my own personal, excuse me, even with my own personal jokes all the time is like I always joke with my sisters and my parents, I got middle child syndrome because I am middle child, the middle boy, 2 girls. But and going to therapy and just learning to talk and learning to just be completely open and not guarded and not worried about being judged of what I'm saying, it helped me to realize that there's a lot of things that I do bury, that I do keep in, and they are actual reactions to a lot of things that no, not the reaction, they are actually the causes of the reaction to a lot of different situations, whether it be something small, whether it be something huge. Like for me, one of my biggest things is just the fact that I always feel like I need to do it myself and not trusting. And that actually went to a very deeper level. And again, confession is good. I'll be honest with you. I had a great father, I had a hardworking father. And after one of my sessions, it actually got me to the point where I had to call my dad and talk to him. And we had a wonderful conversation. And even though like my dad was a good man, my dad is a good man, is a pillar in the community, there were just some things that we just never spoke about because my dad was very old fashioned, which gave me old fashioned values, which, was always was, you know, you don't talk about your feelings. You don't, a man only has two feelings. You're either hurt or you're angry. That's it. It's never about, there always was love, love you have for your wife or your children, but you never really got into deeper emotions. So, which brings me to the subject of today. There is a stigma, I believe, in the Black community to where we don't look at therapy the way that we should. We think that therapy is a white or an upper class issue, not or issue or an option. And what we've always been told is you don't need a doctor, you need Jesus. And again, not knocking it, not knocking anybody's religious beliefs, not knocking anybody's, way of of coping with life. But at the same time, yes, you can pray, you can meditate, you can go through everything you need to go through. You can work it out yourself, and it may work fine for a lot of people. But for some of us, and I believe it's a lot of us, we need to actually go and talk to someone who has been trained, who has who has been trained, who has the knowledge, who has the instinct and the insight that we cannot get for ourselves, and will be somebody who can give us exactly what we need to hear. Or not even give us what we need to hear, just give us another way of looking at things. Like, for example, my therapist, and like the first therapy session that I had with him was the way that people look at life. And he wrote down 3 words, which was be, do, and have. Most people look at that and feel they need to have things so they can do certain things, so they can be somebody. But in actuality, it's the opposite. You have to be who you already are. So you start to do what you need to do, and then you'll have all the happiness that you live, all the happiness that you want in life. Now, for me personally, I learned this, and it was a big eye opener for me, and I would have never have thought of things like this unless I had gone to therapy. Now, another thing with therapy is a lot of people think that they're going to go to see a therapist, and the therapist is not going to understand exactly what you're going through. Say if you go, again, I'm speaking specifically to, Black, Hispanic, any minority community, they're not going to understand exactly what you're going through. Like, you can't exactly go to, an older white man or an older white woman and say, they have, feelings of, feelings of oppression, or, or try to explain how it feels to walk into a store and have somebody follow you, or when, Black men were getting killed for no reason, to actually go anywhere and just be happy you make it home alive. So the big gap is that there's not a lot of Black therapists in this world. I believe out of all the therapists in the world, I'm actually going to try to look it up, so don't mind me, I'm on my phone. It's like 5 or 8% of all therapists are actually African American or any other ethnic, or any other ethnic diversity. So the search for that person that you can talk to, you I can identify with, that you are comfortable with, is going to be even harder. So what I believe everyone should do is you need to do your research, find someone who you are comfortable with to talk to. And yes, a lot of people, you have your friends you can talk to, but you got to remember, sometimes your friends are going to give you the answer that you want. You can go to your pastor, and he may give you an objective opinion, but he's still not completely licensed to do these things unless he actually has a degree in it. Like, my therapist personally, I was lucky to find someone who actually has a biblical degree, and he has a psychology degree, which works for me, because one of my things is we'll get into that one day about my religious upbringing. So again, because of the way that my day went today, and because of the enlightening experience it was for me, and because this is my platform, and this is my way of trying to spread knowledge, or spread any kind of hope or anything like that, I wanted to speak about mental health for Black men. One of the things that I have actually read up on is the Willie Lynch letter, and how it's been a systematic oppressive device since slavery. And the fact that, when I was on Black's podcast, or Black Opinionated podcast, we were talking about how, images and information is given to us in the wrong way. And because a lot of young Black men have been hit with different negative images of themselves, it's actually a form of brainwashing, and to reprogram your mind and reprogram your brain in order to realize that you can do whatever you want. Like, yes, we had Obama as a president. Yes, so we have all these young kids who can say, I can be president. We have a lot of Black businessmen now. We have a lot of, and it's not, and actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say Black businessmen, or, you got to achieve all these things and get all this money and, be a titan of industry. You just need to learn to be happy. If you go work on cars every day because that is your passion, then be happy in that. If you want to write, if you want to, if you want to do the business thing, you want to do the investment thing, do that. Do that and, do that and pursue your passion. But a lot of us feel, man, I may just be speaking for myself. I hate to put words in their feelings in other people's places, but I really think that a lot of us feel that unless we're making all this money, unless we are proficient in this industry, unless some of us, it's sexual conquest. It's all of these things that we're looking to do to try to validate who we are in our own minds and in our own souls and our own spirits, that we forget exactly who we were meant to be and what will actually make us happy. And I personally believe that going to a therapist or going to someone who is licensed to help us navigate through these feelings and through these thoughts is the most important thing that we need to accept. And we need to stop looking at this as a stereotypical white problem. A lot of our kids who have issues in schools, who have issues in just behavioral things or whatever, or things like that, right now they're so quick to put these kids on medicine, to put them on, they have ADD, they have ADHD. Some kids are just BAD. We'll be honest about it. But a lot of these kids don't know how to talk because they haven't been taught how to fully express themselves. There was, I forget who the quote is actually from, but he said the kids spend their first 2 years of life learning how to walk and talk. They spend the next 10 years of their lives learning how to shut up and sit down. They don't know how to express themselves anymore because it's also that kids should be seen and not heard. So when you are taught that young not how to be you, to learn who you are, to experiment in your world, to go outside and just get dirty, to just to fall, to hurt yourself, to experience life. When you get to the point when you're an adult, you're sheltered and the world will scare you. So unless you can actually go and find someone who can help you navigate through these things, then you're going to be lost. Well, I won't guarantee that you will be lost, but a lot of people will have an issue. I personally did. So again, this is where I feel that any type of licensed therapist for our community is important, because honestly, and maybe I'm just a bitter old head right now, but I feel like this next generation is a split. Some of them know where they're going and they're making great strides in who they are, but a lot of them are lost. And I feel like as the generation before them, we are responsible for that. We are responsible for the fact that they are lost because we were lost, because we didn't know how to fully express ourselves, to fully grasp who we are, who we could be, who we are supposed to be. And a lot of us were babies raising babies. So with all of that compiled together, it's just going to create this huge cauldron. It's going to create this volcano that is going to eventually explode, because nobody will be able to truly express themselves because they do not know how. So I feel like that is why it is important for us to learn how to talk to someone else. Hey, Black, can you come here real quick? I want to ask you something for a second. Sorry, technical difficulties, just give you another voice. All right. All right, he's gonna do something real quick. Now, I just want to ask him a quick question, just because I want to use a different example than myself in this, because now, mind you, my sister has a degree in psychology, and whether it's true or whether it's not true, I always make the joke, I'm pretty sure that she's writing her clinical thesis on me, because I am an enigma. I'm just a plethora of different things, which I'm not even going to get into tonight, because it's not really about me and my journey, but it's about me trying to help other people to progress on their journey. There's probably a lot of different mental disorders that are not diagnosed properly.
All right, I'm in here.
All right, you good. All right, let me ask you, I just want your opinion on it. Would you go to a therapist?
Actually, I've been talking about trying to get one For a minute now, one of my boys had hit me up because like you said, I had thought it honestly was a white thing at first,
Right.
and I was like, man, black people, man, we don't do therapy. That's for white people.
Right.
Like, fuck that. And then you just pull up your pants and keep on moving. That's what we was taught.
Exactly.
But yeah, actually lately I've been my boy actually gave me the number to his because he said the same thing you said, like, dog, like you're not gonna.
Yeah, you can't like figure it out.
You can't figure it out by yourself, right?
Right.
You need, and then he was like, and then going to a therapist, he's like, people think a therapist is like a sign of like weakness.
Not at all.
But what happens is when you talk to people in your close circle who know you, they're going to give you a biased opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he was like, with a therapist, you could literally go in there and just say what you got to say, and everything is completely unadulterated. It's they're not saying it's because they like you. They're not saying it's because they want to hurt your feelings or don't want to hurt your feelings. They're just talking. Mm-hmm. He's like, so you need that. Like, you need somebody who's not nowhere near connected to you to give you a different opinion on how on way to look at things. And he said the same thing. Like, like you said, you want to go to somebody. It was a thing for you to find a therapist that was spiritual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And going to talk to your pastor, like, yeah, your pastor might not know you one-on-one, but you go to the same church, y'all do speak. It's still kind of like intertwined.
It's still
kind of relationship.
Right.
So, I definitely get that. And to answer your question, long answer short, yes, yes, I will go see a therapist.
All right, word. And see, for me, I'm glad that he was that you were open enough to say that, because again, a lot of people think it's a closeted thing, like they're scared to actually admit that they're going to get help. And Black just made a great point. Admitting you need help is the strongest thing you will ever do in your life. Whether it's you need help, whether it's an addiction you need help with, whether it's just, something in your mental that you need help with. There is no shame. There should be no shame in admitting you can't do it. I need someone to help me get through this. There's no shame in all that. And that's, again, something I had to work through, because I swore I could do it all myself. It was all about me. It was all about what steps I was taking to get to my goal, and fuck everybody in the way. Not realizing that I was hurting myself in the process. So, and one of the things, and again, not to go back to religion, it just popped in my head, and it's another quote. It was that in order to win a war, you have to surrender. It was a religious quote talking about, surrendering, to God and things like that. But it's a quote that is real for life, because yes, you have to step on toes. You have to climb over anybody. You got to do this to get success. You have to be a wolf out here. That's what they tell you. You got to be a wolf. But those that are wolves, the alpha wolf, 90% of the time, he's alone. And it's because of the way that he has made his path through life. Those who I've learned in my own experience, those who are able to accept who they are and accept their faults and their strengths, those are the ones that, to me, are successful in life, not just successful in one or two avenues. So, hold on, you get my good side? Yeah, see, it's why it's called organized chaos, because I'm pretty sure I got ADD or something, because I'll be off in a second. Excuse me. That's something. I'm fighting a cold too. Like, it's one of those times where, because and as a male, for me coming up, at least in the generation I was in, basically born 80s, 90s baby was my come up, so we was like the last generation actually went outside. It was always, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. You don't worry if you hurt yourself, you keep moving. I mean, one of the things that I've always joked about, and I've literally said in every job interview I ever had, was my dad told me, if I'm not dead or in the hospital, I'm at work. And I live that mentality now. So it's like I don't even take care of myself. I'm more worried about. I'm more worried about. Oh, I gotta get to work. I gotta do this. Go to work. Damn near with the flu. But that's the mentality that's been stuck into our heads is that as men, nothing hurts us. We're all supposed to be Superman. We're supposed to take care of everything. We are the provider, the hunter. But if you actually if you want to take it, real simple, we are animals. And if you watch animals in the wild, yes, the male may be the hunter, the male may be the leader, the male is this, the male is that, whatever. But that male is nothing without the rest of either his pride, his herd, or anything else. Because they are the ones who support him. One thing we all need is a support system. And I know I'm all over the place tonight, but I'm literally I'm not, no script. I'm talking off the top of my head because it's something I really feel deeply in me because of what it has done for me. We all need that support. We all need friends. We all need that friend that's going to have your back no matter what. We all need that person that older person who can kind of give us their life experience. We all need all of those things, but they're like Black said, they're giving you biased opinions. We all need to find someone who we can speak to openly, unapologetically, with no worries about he's going to judge me, or this is going to come back to haunt me, or this bringing up all of these inner feelings and things inside of me is going to somehow he's going to use it against me later. When you feel that freedom, you will feel that weight off of your shoulders. You will literally think clearly, and you will get in the path of reprogramming your brain. I'm not an expert on it, but I can give you my experience. I literally have rethought the way that I react to things now. Still have my issues. I'm always going to have issues because it's a journey. It's not just a quick fix. You're not going to go in there and he's going to be like, okay, this is what you're doing wrong. Da, 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 da. Boom, take this next step. No, it's a journey, and you have to stick with it. My full, unadulterated opinion is that we need to embrace this more than we already have. And in the same fact of embracing it, we need more of us to go into mental health. I mean, I know a lot of women who have gone to social work because they want to help. They want to help, they want to help, poor families. They want, help kids, or, they want to help the single mom. They want to help. But I firmly believe that a lot of them, they have that degree in social work. They need to get a degree in some kind of psychology or psychiatry. I forget which one is the actual medical one, but actually get that, because when you go into these homes, when you go into these schools, and you want to, you're trying to, figure out kids, you need to be able to talk to them, not only in, a way of, hey, I'm here to help you out, but actually really talk to them and help them to think of themselves differently. A lot of kids have a very, very low self-esteem, a low image of themselves. And again, from experience, my daughter went through this stuff. My daughter had gone through it. Actually, and probably is still going through it for reasons that we are trying to figure out, and me and her mother are trying to figure out now. And I firmly believe, I'll talk to my guidance counselor. Your guidance counselor is just, in my mind, somebody who works at the school and couldn't become a teacher and didn't want to be a teacher. Not an actual person who is licensed in child therapy. I feel anyone who is going to be in that capacity with children should have some kind of degree, because again, our kids need this. Our kids need to feel safe and able to talk and able to express what's going on with them. Because, everybody remembers as a kid, some of us, me personally, I was scared to talk to my dad because my dad was the disciplinarian. He was the iron fist that ran that house. So times I'm like, Dad, I need to talk to you. I couldn't. If I had someone I could talk to, I'd have loved to have that person. Me, sadly, it was the old heads that was around. It was, somebody's older brother who I talked to, and, gave me warped mental states on a lot of things. But again, I'm happy. I'm glad for it. I appreciate it because it helped grow me into the man that I am today. But we all, I keep saying it over and over and over, and I don't want to bore y'all with this, but I need everyone who feels that they're at that point in their life. If you feel you're if you feel you're overwhelmed, if you feel anxiety, if you feel stressed out, if you feel like you're at that point where there's nowhere you can go, there's no way to turn, there's no light. Find someone to talk to. Everybody's like, yes, it does cost money. It's going to cost money. There are a lot of places you can go where you can get free help, you know. But I'd strongly urge and beg anyone to go and do this, especially black men. And I'm not saying young black men, I'm not saying old black men, I'm saying black men in general. We need to fully understand who we are, what we are, why we feel the way we feel, and not to be embarrassed about these emotions that we have. For me, one of the biggest issues I ever had was, again, my father. And it's not that we had a bad relationship. It was just, I don't know. It was just, it was what it was. It was great. But I still had an issue. I never told my father I loved him until I moved 1,100 miles away. And in my mind, that's one of those things where, like, we as black men almost feel like we can't tell another black man, yo, I love you, dog. I got love for you, man. I hope you good. We'll say it when we gone, but how hard is it to say it while we're here? We need to say it while we're here. And we need to understand that that's the strength that we have together. This is the support that we have together. You bring us, you put us together, you lock us together. There's no stopping us. And I'm not preaching revolution, but I'm preaching strength. Strength is men. Strength is men who have goals and are trying to push another one down or to sabotage another man's goals to get where you need to get to, but to support each other and get to where we need to be. Independent, not depending, not sitting here and feeling the woe is me, not scared of success as a people, as individuals, as families. And a lot of that needs to start with us recognizing that we do need to talk to somebody. We do need this help. And until we can surrender that, it's not that I don't see any hope for the future, but I see us being stagnant. We're going to be stagnant. Again, this is all literally off the top of my head because of what I personally went through today. And this is my therapy. This is my therapy session. This is how I'm working on things. By just talking and just, basically laying it out and not really worrying about repercussions. I mean, it's right now, like it's on the internet. I'm putting everything out there. So yes, this is my therapy session. I've always said music is what my outlet is. Talking is what my outlet is. This whole media thing is what my outlet is. But I also know that I still need to sit down, have that one-on-one with my therapist. I'll be honest, I missed the last 2 sessions. Just had things going on. But if there's anything that anybody can take from me rambling on for however long I've been talking, therapy is not something to hide behind closed doors. Therapy is not something that, it's just that, he's got issues or, he can't figure it out or, he's a little off. Every member's off in school. He needs therapy. No. It's just literally a way to vent. Everybody needs a way to vent. And in that environment, it's safe, it's open, you can just let go. You just let everything go. And I feel like, there's a lot of weight on our shoulders just being black males in this world. We wake up in the morning, we already got 2 strikes against us. So yeah, we're going to be stressed. There probably should damn near be a syndrome for the way that things go right now. And that's just, again, I don't want to focus on black males because I understand where you have to listen, So I truly feel that this will be the first step in us getting our community together. And we need to stand up as men. Honestly, we need to stand up as men and we need to support, because, we need to support our women. Because a lot of our last couple of movements, they were started about women. And damn near everything in the civil rights way back when, you take it over to Harriet, something like that, they were started about women. But at the same time, there were truly strong black men who were right there at the forefront. We need to get back there. We need to get back to being the heads of our households. We need to get back to being, as cliche and everybody's running with it now, we need to get back to being king. We need to get back to truly standing up for who we are, for our community. And I fully believe that we need to learn how to reprogram our thoughts, reprogram our reactions, reprogram our emotions so that we know how to properly, uh, apologize, I can't remember the word, but to properly use them, to properly understand them, and to stop. Maybe that'll be part of the way that we understand, that there's four different kinds of love. There's agape love, there's regular love, there's the love for your children. We need to learn agape, like we need to love all across who we are. And we need to process that. So again, I think that's our mental health. Our mental health is strained. Our mental health is being controlled. And we need to take back our control. And you know what? I'm not even gonna do I'm not even gonna do a full hour on this one. I'll be honest with you. Anybody who has watched this and seen this, you can honestly, I'm gonna put it out there. Reach out to me. You need to talk, reach out to me. I got you. Well, even if it's, ain't nothing really going on with you. Just, you feel like you need a friend at some time. Reach out. What's up? What's good? If you want somebody, help put you in the direction of finding, any type of facility or someone that you can speak to where you're at, reach out. I'll help you. Because the only way that I can sit here and talk about the fact that I want to, I want the community to do this, I want black men to do this, is that I need to stand up and do it my damn self. So I'm going to do that. Like, literally. You find me on damn near any social media. My name is real simple. It's Jay Myers. If you're watching the joint right now, if not, pass it on to one of your people, whatever you need to do. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my step. And if anybody else feels the same as I, then you know what? Go to your people. Go to random people. You need somebody, need something. Just do that. Just let's stand up and start doing right by each other. So I guess that's the point of the whole damn thing that I'm saying is I'm learning who I am. I'm learning that I have a different purpose. I want everyone else to learn that too. So I'm basically put my money where my mouth is. Reach out. Reach out to me. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to your pastor. Google a therapist. Let's get our mental health and our minds together. And then from there, we can get our families together. We can get our communities together. We can get us together. Because as much as, yes, we have made a lot of progress over these years, I honestly feel we've been stagnant and we've allowed it to happen. So that's really all I gotta say. Like I don't know. It was something that was on my heart. Again, Black, thank you for tuning in for this. This is the Organized Chaos Podcast. It's episode 2. I'm gonna try not to preach next time. I'm trying to do something, a little fun, a little different. But I just want to thank everybody, for sitting here and ramble for a little bit. But again, I'm gonna just reach out, holler at me, holler at somebody. Let's build this. Let's destroy and then rebuild. I think that was a Nas album, actually. It was. All right, so Pat. Good luck, Black. It's Organized Chaos Podcast. This is episode number 2. Black mental health and all over the goddamn place. Thank y'all for watching. Throw the links out the list, everything else. Y'all be safe. Y'all show love. Kiss your kids, kiss your mama. Peace.